DIY Dreaming, and I'm excited about today's tutorial because what we're going to be doing is creating some snowy pine cones. I'm going to show you how to make an arrangement in a dough bowl and do a whole thing for winter. I don't know if you're like me, but when Christmas is over and I start to take Christmas down, I always feel like the house looks so bare. So in past years, what I've done is just do a snow and snowflake theme with white, and that cheers up the house a little bit. So that's what we're going to be making. I have pine cones, you guys, from 3 places. I have these gigantic pine cones that I picked up from the snow last, I think it was February, in Lake Tahoe. Everyone else got souvenirs. I paid to ship a whole box of pine cones home. So we're going to use these from Lake Tahoe. And then I have these adorable ones that Linda White sent me. And they're from Indiana. And then I am just going to show you some of the other ones that I have that are, that one's kind of pretty. I've done so many different crafts with pine cones over the year. This one has silver on it, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but it's from Georgia. So we have California, Indiana, and Georgia. And I think pine cones are beautiful no matter where they're from. So I also have some interesting pine cone facts to share with you. So stay with me clear to the end. Oh, and one other thing. I have another sprinkle gift today, and it's totally appropriate. It's a brand new, it doesn't have the plastic sleeve on it. It's a brand new snowflake stencil from magnoliadiy.com. So to get your name in my hat for a chance to win this, just sprinkle this video to your social media. Sprinkle means share, means to take this video and put it on your Facebook page, or if you're in a group, a crafting group or something that allows that, to put it there, and then tell me that you sprinkled, and then I'll put your name in my hat, and tomorrow I will pull a name to send this to. Okay, so in the past, what I have done to paint pine cones, and I've done a ton of painting of pine cones, is I have dipped a foam brush in paint, and then I have dabbed it onto the pine cone, which the pine cones from Georgia are kind of prickly. These are from my backyard, actually. Probably I picked these up 2 or 3 years ago. So it can be kind of difficult to do it that way, and I have a much easier way. Okay, so what you're gonna need is a Ziploc bag, and let me move some of this stuff over. We're also gonna do some of these little rattan balls. You can do all kinds of things. And I'm using this glitter today. It's Sue Lynn brand, and this is called Crystal Diamond from Walmart. My favorite glitter is this, silver in sterling. But we're gonna use this. I did fiddle around a little bit with this. I think this came from Walmart too. Iridescent glitter. I didn't like it as well. And I also fiddled around with using some of this faux snow from Dollar Tree, and I'll show you what those look like. But this is what I like the best. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a large Ziploc bag, and whatever paint, I'm doing white, but I wanted to let you know that you could do cream. You could get crazy. I was kind of thinking about this idea and do light pink. I would stick to a lighter color rather than a darker color so that it will show up on the brown pine cones. You could do silver paint, you could do gold paint, and I'm just using this inexpensive paint today. It's Waverly Chalk Matte Finish No Prep Acrylic Paint in white from Walmart. And I'm just gonna pour a blob. You really don't need too much. I'll show you. Let me close this up in case I knock it off my desk. So see, there's a blot in there. And this particular paint is really thick, so I'm going to put a couple of squirts of water in there too. And then you're going to rub it all over the inside of your bag. That's it. I mean, and a little paint goes a long ways. Okay. Then you're going to take your pine cone. Let's do this one first. And let me just tell you this one thing. When you get pine cones out of nature, often they have little critters that are living in them. So to get the critters out of the ones that came from nature, that didn't come from a store and hadn't already been treated, you just want to put them on a cookie sheet lined with foil in an oven, you know, between 160 and 200 for 30 minutes to an hour. And that just will make sure that there's no living critters inside of your pine cones. Easy. Well, hey Carolyn, hi Yoli, hi Glenda. Lots of people are on. So I'm going to take this pine cone that Miss Linda White sent me, and I'm dropping it in my bag, and then I'm just kind of just rubbing the paint that's on the inside of this bag. And I will tell you, it does get on your hands, but you could wear gloves. I've been fiddling around all morning, so my hands are looking pretty terrible. Okay, and this is what it looks like. It's perfect. If you notice that there's any big areas, I need a wipe, that you missed, that didn't get covered for whatever reason, you can just take a brush and some of your paint and touch up an area if you want. Okay. Then the next thing, and we'll do some more of these, and then I'm going to show you what I've got here. The next thing you're going to do, I like to use glitter on a paper plate. Thank you, Janice. She says she hopes I have an awesome day today. I am having an awesome day today. I have been playing with pine cones for hours. I'm sprinkling very, very liberally a ton of this Sulin glitter on my pine cone while this paint is still wet. All right. And then I'm just going to shake it off. And there you go. It's subtle, but that's what you want, I think. So this is what it looks like with this glitter. Let me show you a couple other examples, and then I'm just going to fold my paper plate in half and tap, and I'll just have put all that glitter back into my little pot of glitter. Okay, so before I came live, I was fiddling around for a while, and this is one that I did. It is pretty. I did using this faux snow. Let me take this out and show you. That came from Dollar Tree. It's flakier. It's white and iridescent too. But this is what we just did, and this is the other one. And I was using what I had on hand. So that's this one. This one right here is this larger iridescent glitter, and it has bigger, you can see bigger pieces of glitter on it. So it's personal preference, whatever you like. Also, if you have glitter that's white or sparkly white or whatever color you might want to use what you have, and don't go buy more unless you absolutely have to. So this one that has the bigger glitter on it is this. All right. Okay, so this one just needs to do some drying. Let's see, I know I have some paper plates floating around here somewhere. Put that in this plate and pop it over here. As you're hopping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle all that good stuff. I do have a sprinkle gift. We're gonna do another big pine cone. Then we're gonna fiddle around with an arrangement. But this is my sprinkle gift for this video. And if you will sprinkle this video, which means share it to your social media, to your Facebook page or a Facebook group that you might be involved in that allows you to do that, and you tell me in the comments, then I will put your name in my hat, and tomorrow I'll pull one name of somebody who sprinkled to send this adorable stencil from magnoliadiy.com. Okay, so this is a much larger pine cone. This is one from Lake Tahoe, and I'm gonna add a little bit more paint to my Ziploc bag because it's gonna take a little bit more. Ooh, that's probably way too much. Well, we'll live with it. I'll have to be careful. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here because this plaster, this Waverly paint from Walmart in white is really pretty thick. So I'm going to really smooch this around in my bag. And you guys, here's another beautiful thing about doing it this way. You can just Ziploc your bag if you need to go do something else, and you can open it back up and come back to it later and still use the same paint that's inside of it. Okay, so let me get this open. See what that looks like. I'm just going to throw our pine cone in here. And then I'm just pushing the sides of the bag onto the little pointy parts of the pine cone to get it on there. Okay, now I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm going to stick it back in the other way. So if you're concerned about your manicure or just having paint on your hands, because maybe you have a job where that's not so cool, just wear gloves. The one thing you won't have if you do your pine cones this way is a whole bunch of little pricks on your fingers, because you're not really getting your fingers too much on the actual pine cone. It looks fabulous. I mean, I think this method is better than what I have done before. Look how pretty that is. And you know, in nature, snow doesn't fall completely equally on every little bit of a pine cone, and it's not completely even on this either. Okay. So I looked up, we're going to do this, and then we'll move on to our arrangement, and I have some other things to show you, but before I go there, I looked up some facts about pine cones that were kind of surprising. Okay, so obviously, let me find a pine cone that I haven't done anything to. Obviously, pine cones, most of them, their main purpose is to hold the pine tree's seeds and to keep them safe. God was so, well, it seems silly to say God is so smart, but you know, he thought of everything. When he thought of the pine tree, and he thought of the animals and things that would be around it, and he thought about how to protect the seeds, which are how you get new pine trees, he thought of the pine cones, and that's probably why they're prickly and why they're hard and why they're brown, so they kind of blend in. So that's their main function, is to protect the seeds. They close and open depending on what the temperature is outside, wind And even if animals are trying to eat them, somehow they do that. Pine cones generally will open up and release their seeds when it is warm and easier for the seed to germinate. Okay, and pine cones can stay on pine trees for up to 10 years, which I think is incredible. We have this whole woods behind our house with tons of pine trees. And there are a bazillion pine cones in the yard. And there's also a ton that are still up in the trees, and that makes me wonder how many years have those pine cones been up there. Okay, the thing that I thought was really interesting, well, there's two things. One, did you know that these pretty pine cones are the females? There are two kinds of pine cones, a male and a female. The male aren't pretty like these, and generally they aren't as big, and generally what they do is they release pollen, which drifts through the air and eventually finds the female pine cones to create the seeds that create life. Isn't that cool? The other thing is, have you ever thought about this? Is this pine cone dead or alive? It seems odd that it could be dead if it's opening and closing, but they are made of dead cells. So those are just a few little facts for you. Okay, so we got to move quickly to do this, and I'm going to start with it standing up. This glitter that I'm using here, I am dedicating to pine cones and other things like that, because since I've been putting it back in my little pot, there are also some little pieces of brown wood and stuff that have gone into it too. So I have oodles of glitter. And I'm okay to dedicate a whole jar to this kind of a project. I don't want to have to pick out every little bit of brown whatever. Okay, so see how it has some little bits of stuff in it. So I'm going to put this back in here and we're going to do it again. It went from empty to this again. It does not have to be perfect. And these are pretty without the glitter if you're not a glitter kind of person. I know a lot of you are not. So you could do this everything exactly the same as what I'm doing here, and just skip the glitter step. Okay, I think I have that pretty seriously coated. And let's put this back in here. I'm just kind of folding it in half. And that's it. You are going to have glitter everywhere because this is a very glittery, messy craft. But look how pretty it is. And I will get close-ups. It's very subtle. It just has a slight sparkle to it. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do fold up my parchment paper and save it for later because I'll probably be doing some more pine cones. Next thing I want to do is show you an idea for a dough bowl that you can create for winter. Like I said at the beginning of the video, sometimes, you know, when you take your Christmas decor down, the house can look kind of bare. So typically what I'll do for January is a snowy, pinecone, snowflakey theme in the house. So I still have some decor. It's just not Christmas themed. Yeah, and earlier in the season, I wanted to show you these ornaments that we made. This is the silver Sulin glitter. And on these, I believe we just used Mod Podge. We didn't paint them. So that was one ornament that I made, and here is another. Aren't they cute? There's just so many things that you can do with pine cones. Okay, to kind of fill this bowl a little bit, which by the way, this was a Goodwill bowl. Can you believe it? It's not really an old dough bowl. It's that Mud Pie brand that somebody just decided they didn't want. I can't imagine why. And I just put some white paper shreds in here. And then I have two of these little picks that are like sparkly. And I'm just gonna lay them in here. And then, and I forgot to do one of these little balls. We'll come back. You know what, let's do it right now, real quick. So, in addition to pine cones, you can also do these little, you can do anything really. These are just some little twine balls. And this is what they look like, which I think is really cool. And then I would just pour some of my glitter on it. Let's do that while it's still wet. So any kind of rattan, anything like that, you can do this painting technique and add glitter to. So let me put this away. What do you guys think so far? Do you think this is something that you would be likely to do? About 3 years ago, I showed a craft where we used kosher salt on pine cones, and it was beautiful. I don't still have those pine cones, I don't think, but I'm going to look for that picture, or for the video maybe even, and I will post that later today. So there's just so many things you can do with pine cones. Okay, so I have two of these that are already finished and pretty dry. And then I have two of these that are finished and dry. And then I have a bunch of these smaller pine cones. So here's one arrangement that I think is pretty. I also have these from a few years ago. They were Christmas ornaments. I took the hangers off of them, and these could be popped in to my arrangement. If you wanted. I also pulled these out. I don't think I'm going to use these, but these are just those old-fashioned lights, Christmas lights. You could pop some of those in there. You could do a candle in the center. Let's take these out for right now. So what do you think? Isn't it pretty and just natural, and it just looks snowy? Okay, Debbie says that she can't deal with glitter shedding in your house. I know. I have a problem with that too. Or actually, I don't have a problem with glitter, but my husband doesn't like it too much. So Anyways, I think this is gorgeous. This method of making pine cones snowy is super easy. You just need some paint, a Ziploc bag, and then whatever glitter you choose to use, and your pine cones. And the pine cones I showed today, these are from Indiana. Miss Linda White sent those to me. These are from Lake Tahoe. I picked them up myself and shipped them home to myself last winter. And these have silver paint on them. I'm not going to combine them with this arrangement, but these are Georgia pine cones. So you can find pretty pine cones everywhere. If you can't find them in your own yard, consider going to the park and picking up pine cones. Consider going to, like, a lot of shopping centers have trees in the parking lot that drop their pine cones. Look there. I'm sure you can order them online. You can pick them up at stores, at craft stores. You can find them occasionally at thrift stores. I just think this is, I may not want to wait until after Christmas to put this out. I might put this in my kitchen right away. But I hope you liked it. I hope that you saw how truly, 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 truly easy it is to do this. And one last time, I'll just let you know that I have this sprinkle gift to give away. So if you want your name to go in my hat to get this brand new snowflake stencil, which is from magnoliadiy.com, but it's sold out right now. Just sprinkle this video to your Facebook page or to a group that you belong to that allows that, and then tell me you did it in the comments, and then I'll pull a name from everyone who did that tomorrow to send this sprinkle gift. What else do I want to tell you? Do this, or say something to me in the comments, and do check. People keep telling me lately that they're not seeing me. Have I quit crafting? No, I'm still crafting every day. I'm still coming live 5 or 6, sometimes 7 days a week. It's Facebook. So if you haven't seen me in a while, check to see if you like and follow this page. Engage with me by doing a thumb, a heart, or saying something. Engage with me by sprinkling this video. All those things make it slightly more likely that Facebook will serve you what I have going. But you can always come back here anytime you like. That you're on Facebook, just type in DIY Dreaming in your search bar and it'll take you to my page, and you can see everything going on. You can see the photos, you can see the videos, you can see everything. You might also check your notifications, because seriously, I've had so many people lately telling me that they're not seeing me anymore. And they're thinking that either I kicked them out, which I'm like, no, I sure didn't, or that I'm not doing this anymore. So check on that. All right, well, I will get close-up pictures of everything. And I'll post those here in these comments. I will also post them just on the page, DIY Dreaming. Thank you so much for the stars. Thank you so much for your comments, for your questions. Thank you so much for sprinkling. I hope that you have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys later.